The sun rose gently over the Mount of Olives that morning, its golden light brushing the tops of olive trees and painting the dusty road with a quiet glow. The air carried a sense of expectancy. Something sacred was about to unfold. Jesus and his disciples approached the village of Bethphage, just a short distance from Jerusalem. The Passover season had drawn pilgrims from every corner of the land. The roads were alive with travelers, songs, and the murmurs of anticipation. But on this day, heaven itself was watching closely, for prophecy was about to walk its final steps toward fulfillment. As they neared the village, Jesus turned to two of his disciples and said with calm authority, "Go into the village ahead of you. There you will find a donkey tied and a colt beside her. Untie them and bring them to me. If anyone asks you what you're doing, say the Lord needs them, and they will let you go." The disciples obeyed without hesitation. They entered the village and, just as Jesus said, found the donkey and her colt waiting. When the owners questioned them, they simply replied, "The Lord needs them." Something about those words carried divine weight, and the owners released the animals without further question. Soon they returned and laid their garments on the colt, creating a humble saddle. Then Jesus, the King of Kings, mounted the young donkey. There was no royal chariot, no polished steed, no banner of conquest. Instead, prophecy breathed to life. "Behold, your king comes to you, gentle and riding on a donkey." Zechariah 9:9. As Jesus descended the slope toward Jerusalem, the atmosphere shifted. Word spread through the crowds like wildfire. "He's coming, the one who raised Lazarus, the prophet from Nazareth." Men, women, and children rushed to the roadside. Some tore branches from palm trees. Others removed their cloaks and spread them across the dusty path. It became a carpet of praise beneath the hooves of the colt. A chorus rose from the multitude, a sound that echoed through the valleys and touched the heavens. "Hosanna to the Son of David. Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. Hosanna in the highest." The city gates came into view, their stones shimmering in the sunlight. For centuries, Jerusalem had awaited her Messiah, yet few expected he would come this way, not on a warhorse but on a donkey. Not with soldiers but with seekers, not with a sword but with peace. As Jesus rode forward, children waved palm branches joyfully, their laughter mixing with the cries of worship. The sound of Hosanna, a Hebrew plea meaning "save us now," rose like incense into the sky. And though many did not fully understand, heaven smiled. Salvation was indeed drawing near. The Pharisees, unsettled by the uproar, muttered among themselves. "Teacher, silence your followers," they demanded. But Jesus, his eyes full of divine compassion, replied, "If they keep quiet, the very stones will cry out." Creation itself recognized its creator passing by. When he entered Jerusalem, the whole city stirred. The marketplace stilled, conversations paused, and eyes turned toward the commotion. "Who is this?" people asked, astonished at the growing crowd and the thunder of voices. "This is Jesus," came the answer, "the prophet from Nazareth in Galilee." Yet those who knew him best understood he was far more than a prophet. He was the promised king, the humble savior who would conquer not through force but through love. The same hands that would soon bear nails now held the reins of peace. As the shouts of Hosanna faded into the hum of the city, Jesus gazed upon Jerusalem. His heart swelled, not with pride, but with compassion. He saw beyond the palm branches and the celebration. He saw the cross ahead, the price of redemption. This moment of triumph was not about earthly glory, but eternal victory. The donkey carried not just a man, but the very hope of humanity. And so the king entered his city, not to take a throne of gold, but to bear a crown of thorns. The crowd saw a parade. Heaven saw a plan. That day, prophecy, humility, and divine love met on the dusty road to Jerusalem. A savior rode toward his destiny, while the world cried out for deliverance it didn't yet understand. And even today, his journey calls to every heart. Will you spread your cloak before him? Will you lift your Hosanna, your cry for salvation? For the same Jesus who rode a donkey into Jerusalem now rides into hearts that make room for him. Tell the daughter of Zion, "Behold, your king comes to you, gentle and riding on a donkey." Matthew 21:5. True kingship isn't proven by power, but by humility. Jesus entered not with force, but with peace, teaching us that real victory begins in surrender. Share this story to remind the world that Jesus still comes humbly, inviting every heart to welcome him. Type Hosanna if you believe he reigns today.